guys, I'm here with the Traveller's Notebook layout today and I'm working with the May 2021 Kitaholic Kit. I have these two photos of Josie and Artie, and I've got this frame which came with the die cut embellishments that were in our kit, and I want to use it for these photos, but there's only one and obviously there are two photos. So I grabbed one of the papers out of the kit that had it had a seascape, like a bird's eye view of the ocean and the beach, and the pale colour of the sand on the beach was kind of just right, I thought, as a border, and it was sort of a bit mottled and had like a slight bit of texture to it, like visual texture, and I just thought it would be nice to use to create a second frame. So what I'm doing is I'm using the frame that was already made as a template, and I'm cutting this to the same size and shape. I'm just using my guillotine to cut the outside bits, and then I marked the inside of the frame with a pencil, and then I'm just using my craft knife and a self-healing cutting mat and a metal ruler to cut that sort of central part out. And a metal ruler is good when you're using one of those craft knives, because sometimes if you use wood or plastic, if your knife is really sharp, it can actually cut the ruler, I have found. So I'm just going to stick this in place using washi tape just to hold it in its spot in the frame, and I will come back to that, like, and adhere it properly once it's going into the book. Once I actually looked at them, I thought I didn't actually like the two different colours of frame as much as I thought I would. So I basically went through that same process again and cut a second frame from the same paper that I used for the other one. So now I have some of this beautiful paper from the kit. It's got gorgeous kind of mottly, watercolory markings on it, which I think are really lovely, especially because it's got that soft rose pink mixed with some mustardy colours, and I love those. And other things that I found in the kit had lots of phrases and things on them. So these were from the die cut pack, and there are some on the sticker sheet as well. And I got the idea to do a kind of Mad Libs style journaling. So to actually use these little bits of text to create part of my journaling, and then sort of write my words, the rest of my words by hand in around them. And I just sort of thought it would look cute. So I'm putting a couple of strips of tissue paper down the center of each, one down the center of each page, and I'm putting my photos at the top and bottom to sort of frame those. And then I will literally journal on top of this paper, like write directly on the tissue paper. Check your tissue paper before you do this. Some are more sturdy than others, and very delicate tissue paper will probably not be great fun to write on because your pen might sort of scratch through it. But this was thicker tissue paper as these things go. So that worked fine. So yeah, I journaled on there, and then the phrases that are on the little labels and tags and things make up part of the journaling, and you should be able to read that there. So I took it away to my sewing machine and I stitched over each of the die cuts and things that I added on for some extra interest and texture. And I also stitched on my actual photos. So everything is held in place just with horizontal stitching. So that's good. And I also used some stickers to fill in one of the bit that says next stop. Now I'm showing you this paper because I want to use this beautiful textured weathered wood look for creating some borders down the side of each page using these metal dies that I have in my stash. But the back side of that paper is actually really busy. It's got quite a lot going on, and I think that these little scalloped borders might actually peek over the edge of my book a little bit, and I don't want the busy B side to show, busy B, I don't want that side to show outside of my book. I want to cover it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it through my Sizzix to get the actual scalloped border that I want on this paper, but then I'm going to find a plain cardstock. I'm actually going to use pink, and I'm going to stick that to the reverse of this paper. You'll see it in a second, so that the busy pattern is covered up if you see it poking out from the edge of my traveler's notebook. While I have my Sizzix out, I'm getting some heart dies as well, and I'm going to just cut a few hearts out of this paper also so that I have them there for final embellishing touches once I am ready to finish this page up. So it's going through the Sizzix, and this is what it ends up with. So those 2 scarlet borders there, and you've got that beautiful texture happening on there, but you can see there what that pattern from the other side looks like, and that's definitely not what I want poking out from my book. I also cut out a few more hearts as I went through doing each of these borders using other papers from this particular kit, because there were lots of nice sort of navies and pinks and things that I knew would go well with what I already had on the page. So I'm using some tacky craft glue to stick these 2 back to back, and you can see there that I have the pink covering up that side now, and I'm happy for that to show down the edges. So now I'm going to adhere this to the side of my pattern paper. And I like the way that this frames it, but it was also, it was partly because I wanted to have something else there, but it was also because the piece of this paper that I had left wasn't quite wide enough to cover the whole page in my book. So I needed to think of something to fill in that sort of strip. So this seemed perfect for that. I really like the way that it turned out. I'm just doing this one on top of the original page so that I can make sure that my little edges line up with each other and they are sort of positioned in the same spot. So that's so they're nice and neat. So I trim the top and bottom off, and you saw I put it on with glue, so I had a bit of room to wiggle room to sort of make sure I got the alignment right. But when I stick these in my journal, you'll see in a minute that I use some tape, which has the dual purpose of like sticking it into the book, but also making sure that that scalloped border is like actually well attached to the page itself as well. So yep, double-sided tape is working well for that. The reason I'm using double-sided tape also instead of glue here is because this is going on a page that it's a little bit rounded because I've got a bunch of layouts in this book already. So there's a bit of a curvature to the page just because it's starting to get a bit bulky. I don't have that problem here on the right, so I'm using glue instead, and then just a little bit of double-sided tape to give the spot where I've put the border on a bit of extra adhesion. So I'm mixing my adhesives here, and that's totally fine with me. I do enjoy using a glue stick where I can because it's nice and quick and it gives you a good stick. So that's in the book now with the stitching all done. So now all I want to do is add some final embellishments. So I'm going to position some of these hearts around the page. These are the ones that I cut out using metal dies and some papers from the kit. And I love those mixed kind of darker and lighter corals and how they complement the background paper, and also the way that the navy contrasts with those pinks. Pink and navy is like one of my favorite color combos. I wanted to make sure I put hearts on each of the photos, but I also wanted to make sure I had 3 little clusters of hearts, or had the hearts in 3 different spots on the page. So I've put another one in the top corner of the bottom photo. And now I'm also adding some enamel dots. These were also in our kit. They're from Bo Bunny, I think, and they are really cute. So I'm happy to be adding a few of those in. You can see I've actually used quite a lot from that sheet because I've been using them in other projects this month as well. So finally, I'm just grabbing out some white gesso and I'm watering it down with some water, and I'm just going to add some white speckles over the page just to help it feel a little bit finished, to bring the whole thing together and add some sort of tiny details. And I think that they look really nice with the heart and enamel dot clusters, and yeah, I just kind of like the way that makes the page feel a little bit finished. And there it is. I like this one. I like the combination of the die cuts with the handwritten journaling. I think it was a fun idea, so I'm glad I went with that. hope you like it too. Make sure you check out Kitaholic Kits and like and subscribe while you're here to my channel, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.